Namaskar. I am Rohin Chandra Das, Assistant Professor of Economics, Bongaigaon College, Bongaigaon, Assam. Viewing this video, you will be able to solve a minimization linear programming problem with the help of simplex method. Simplex method is an iterative procedure for searching the optimal solution of a linear programming problem. In this iterative process, you have to move from one basic feasible solution to another until you get optimal solution. Let us take an example of minimization problem. So minimize cost C equal to x1 plus 4x2 subject to x1 plus twice x2 greater than equal to 8, thrice x1 plus twice x2 greater than equal to 12, x1 comma x2 greater than equal to 0. Using surplus variable, also called dummy variable, s1 and s2 and artificial variable v1 and v2, we rewrite the problem as minimize C equal to x1 plus 4x2 plus 0 multiplied by s1 plus 0 multiplied by s2 plus 10 v1 plus 10 v2, or taking this right hand portion into the left hand portion, we may write this way: C minus x1 minus 4x2 minus 0 multiplied by s1 minus 0 multiplied by s2 minus 10 v1 minus 10 v2 equal to 0, subject to x1 plus twice x2 minus s1 plus v1 equal to 8, thrice x1 twice x2 minus s2 plus v2 equal to 12, x1 comma x2 greater than equal to 0. Here we have used surplus variable s1 and s2. Moreover, we use artificial variable v1 and v2. The surplus variable surplus variable 1, that is s1, is deducted from the first constraint, and we added another artificial variable v1, so it becomes x1 plus twice x2 minus s1 plus v1 equal to 8. Similarly, in second constraint, we deduct the surplus variable s2 and we add the artificial variable v2. So it becomes like this: thrice x1 plus twice x2 minus s2 plus v2 equal to 12. Here we are using two types of variable. One kind of is surplus variable and another is artificial variable. The reason is that in case of linear program minimization problem, the area of feasible solution is not associated with the original point 0, 0. That is why we are not able to get basic initial basic feasible solution in linear programming, initial basic feasible solution in minimization problem. And so we have to add another artificial variable, and that is why we are adding v1 and v2. Now in objective functions, in the objective function, we have assigned relatively larger coefficient than the coefficient of objective function. Here we are using 10. That is why we are added 10 v1 plus 10 v2. So this 10, why we taken this 10? See, in this objective function we have single the coefficients are of single digit, so that is why we are taking is a 10. If it is more than one digit, say 2 digit, then in that case we have to use 100 as a coefficient of artificial variable. If the coefficient of choice variable x1 and 2 are, if any one of them is say 3 digit, then we have to use 1000 as a coefficient for artificial variable, so that we can get an initial basic feasible solution. Now let us see in the next slide. Okay, minimize cost. C is equal to c minus x1 minus 4x2 minus 0 multiplied by s1 minus 0 multiplied by s2 plus minus v 10 v1 minus 10 v2 equal to 0, subject to this. Well, now putting this the coefficient of this problem in the table number 1, where we have c x1 x2 s1 s2 v1 v2 constant, the are the basic columns. In row 0, we are using we are putting the coefficients of the variables of objective function. So c is 1 minus 1 minus 4 0 0 minus 10 0. There is no constant, so that is 0. Next, r1 is the coefficient of first constant. So in first constant there is no c, that is why it is 0. Coefficient of x1 is 1, coefficient of x2 is 2, coefficient of s1 is minus 1. There is no s2, so that is why 0. Coefficient of v1 is 1. There is no v1 in the first constant, so it is 0, and constant is 8. Like that, r2 row 2 is a coefficient of second constants. So in second constant there is no c, so 0. Coefficient of x1 is 3, coefficient of x2 is 2, coefficient of s1 means s1, there is no s1 in constant 2, so that is why it is 0. Coefficient of s2 is minus 1. Constant 2 has no v1, so that is 0. The coefficient of v2 is 1, so 1, and constant is 12. So this is the first table where we have put all the coefficients of this minimization problem. Well, this simplex table has no initial basic feasible solution. That is why we have to edit the artificial v1 and variable p1 and v2. See, why there is no basic feasible solution? Because there is in this table, from this table we cannot get the identity matrix, exact identity matrix, that is positive identity matrix. So there is a one column, but there is a negative and negative. If we see c is 1, so we will get a 0 value, final value. S1 is a negative 1, so ultimately value of S1 will be the minus 8, and s2, which another is -1, so that is -1, will get s equal to s2 is equal to -12, but s1 and s2 cannot be negative, so that is why this table has no initial basic feasible solution. Let us see next slide. Okay, so this is the table number 1. Well, since table number 1 has no feasible initial basic feasible solution, we have to convert it into another table so that we get initial basic feasible solution. The conversion relation here is this: R0 plus 10 R1 plus R2, which will give the row of table 2, that is row 1, row 2, add row 1 and row 2 and multiplied by 10, and that that multiplication, that the result we have to add with the R0, so that is the relation. Well, so this is R1 R2 added up, we will get this 0 0 0, this 4 4, -1 -1, 1 1, 20. Okay, so this is the R0, this R0 line, that is row 0, and this is the 10 multiplied by R1 plus R2. That means we have to multiply this line by 10, then we'll get 0 40 40 -10 -10 10 10 200 plus it. Okay, after adding by taking the plus, you get 1, that is 39 36 -10 -10 0 0 200. So let us put it to the table number 2. Well, so this becomes the row of the table number 1, 1 39 36 -10 -10 0 0 200. Well, then let us put the R1 and R2 as it is. Okay, is a remain same. See, in this two table, the difference is that the table number 1 has no initial basic feasible solution, but table number 2 has a basic initial feasible solution. Why? See, we can we can bring the columns of identity matrix from table number 2. How? This is the column of C, so C is a column of, second is the column of V1, so it is V1, third is the column of V2, so it is V2, equal to the constant matrix 200 8 8 20. So the initial basic feasible solution is C is equal to 200, V1 is 8 8, V2 is 12. Well, now see here we have got the initial basic feasible solution, which is not which cannot be found in table number 1, and this is the reason why we have added the two artificial variable in minimization problem. But in maximization problem, simply we add the slack variable also. But in minimization problem, we add not only the surplus variable, but also artificial variable. Well, so now we have the table number 2. Let us take it here. Well, from table number 2, we have to search the final solution through the process of pivoting. So in the pivoting, so to find out okay, the pivoting process includes, first we have to identify the pivot column. So in case of minimization problem, the pivot column is that column which is the largest positive value in row 0. So in row 0, here see 1, 39, 36, minus 10, minus 10, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so 39 is the largest positive value. So this it is x1 x1 column. It is in x1 column. So this column is called the pivot column. Well, but taking this pivot column, we have to identify the pivot row. So what is the pivot? The procedure is that the constant part, let us see constant part, 8 divided by 1, so equal to 1, 12 divided by 3, that is 4. So 4 is the minimum, that is why R2, it is in R2, so R2 is the pivot row. Well, so here 3 is the common element of pivot column and pivot row, so 3 is called the pivot element. Okay, now okay, now taking these 3 or taking this row, we have to convert all the elements of this table 2 in such a way that the pivot element becomes 0 and other elements of pivot column become pivot element become 1 and other element of pivot column becomes 0. So let us see next slide. Okay, so how we can make it the pivot element 3 into 1? So by dividing our row 2 by 3, we will get it as 1. So as there is a accordingly the other elements also will change. So the relation is that R2 divided by 3 will gives R2 of the table number 3. So by dividing R2 by 3, we get 0, 1, 2 by 3, 0, minus 1 by 3, 0, 1 by 3, 4. Okay, how? So 0 divided by 3 is 0, 3 divided by 3 is 1, 2 by 3, 2 by 3, 0 by 3, 0, minus 1 by 3, minus 1 by 3 is 0 by 3, 0, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 12 by 3, 4, 4. So let us put this value in the table number 3. So putting this value, we get this row, this row. Now come to the row 1. How row 1, in row 1, this 39 can we make a 0? Okay, to make it 0, we have to take this relation. R0 minus 39 times of R2 of the table number 3 will give the R0 row of table number 3. So R0, first let us write the R0 of row of table number 2, that is 1, 39, 36, minus 10, minus 10, 0, 0, 200. Well, next 39 times of R2 of table number 3, that is this table number 3, we have to multiply it by 39. By multiplying by this row by 39, we will get 0, 39. So 39 multiplied by 2 by 6, that is equal to 26. 0, 39 by 39 multiplied by minus 1 by 3 will be minus 13. 0, 39 multiplied by 1 by 3, that is 13. So 4 multiplied by 39 is 156. Minus it, we'll get 1, 0, 10, minus 10, 3, 0, 13, 44. Let us put it in the table number 3. So this row 0. Okay, now come to the row 1 of table number 2. Well, so row 1 of table number 2 has one value in pivot column. So it is already 1. We have to make it 0. So simply we deduct the row 2 of table number 3 from row 1 of table number 2. That is the row 1 of table number 2 minus row 2 of table number 3 will give the row 1 of table number 3. Simply we, because it is 1 and this is also 1. Okay, this. After deducting we get 0, 0, 2 minus 2 by 4, sorry, 2 minus 2 by 3 is 4 by 2, minus 1 by 0 is 1, minus 1, 1 minus plus 1 by 3, 1 by 3, so 1 is a minus 3, so is 4. Let us put it in the table number 3. So we will get this row 1. So this is where we will get the table number 3. Okay, take in the next slide it, table number 3. Again, in table number 3 we have to see which is the largest positive value is in row 0. Here 10 is the largest positive value, so it will be the pivot column. Again 4 divided by this will get equal to 3, and this 4 divided by this will get 6, so 3 is the lower than 6, so that's why R1 will be the R1 row will be the pivot row and 4 by 3 will be the pivot element. Now again we have to make it 1. To make it 1, we multiply R1 row by 3 divided by 4. Since it is 4 by 3, we have to multiply it by reciprocal of this pivot elements. That is 4 by 3. We have to multiply RO by 3 by 4. So that is the relation. R1 multiplied by 3 by 4 will give the R1 of table number 2. So after multiplication we will get 0, 0, 1, minus 3, 1, 1 by 4, 3 by 4, minus 4, 3. So let us put it in the table number 4. So this line is this line. R1 row of table number 4. Now come to the R0, row 0. So row 0 has the 10, so that is why we'll multiply row 1 of table number 4 by 10, then both will become 10, so after deducting them we'll get 0. So this is the relation. R0 minus 10 multiplied by R1 of table number 4 will give the row 0 of table number 4. R0 of, this is the row 0 of table number 3. Directly you write it, yes. Next, 10 times of the row of table number 4. After multiplying by this by 10, we'll get this line. Deduct it. 1, 0, 0. See, minus 10, minus plus 15 by 2. Ultimately, we will have minus 5 by 2. And 3 minus 5 by 2 is half. 0 minus 15 by 2 is minus 15 by 2. Minus 13 plus 5 by 2 is 21 by 2. And 44 minus 30 is 14. So let us put it in the table number 4. So we'll get the row 0 of table number 4. So this line is this. Next, let us take the R2. This R2, that is row 2 of table number 3. So row 2 of table number 3 has 2 by 3 in the pivot column, the element. To make it 0, the relation is this: row 2 of table number 3 minus 2 by 3 multiplied by row 1 of table number 4. will give row 2 of table number 4. Let us take the row 2 of table number 3. Then 2 by 3, that is row 1 multiplied by 2 by 3 will get this line. So deduct it, will get this value. So put it in the table number 4. So this value. Okay, so this is where we get the table number 4. Okay, take it to the next slide. This table number 4. Okay, this table number 4 also has one positive value, that is half corresponding to S1 column. So S1 column is the pivot column. Again we have to search the pivot row. So let us take this constant divided this 3 divided by 1 by 4. Ultimately it becomes 12. And another is the negative. We need to take any need to divide it. So ultimately row 1 of table number 4 will be, again it will be the pivot row. Now we have to make it 1 again, 1 by 4. So by multiplying R1 by 4 we will get this 1. So this is the table. So R1 multiplied by 4 will give the row 1 of table number 5. So after multiplication we will get this. After multiplication this row by 4 we will get this. So put it in the table number 5. So this row same. Next let us take R0. So R0 has the 1 by 2 value in the pivot column. So we have to make it 0. To make it 0, the relation is this: R0 minus, that is R0 of table number 4 minus 1 by 2 of the table number 5. Sorry, 1 by 2 of, that is half of the R1 row 1 of table number 5 will give row 0 of table number 5. So this is the row of table number 4. So half of the row 1 of the table number 5, 0, 0, 4 by 2 is 2, 3 by 2, 1 by 2, 3 by 2, minus 1 by 2, 12 by 2 is 6. Okay, minus it, we'll get 1, 0, minus 2, minus 1, 0, minus 9, 5, 8. Put it, we'll get row 0 of table number 5. Yes, this. Next, let us take the row 0 of, sorry, row 2 of table number 4, where we have minus 1 by 2 element in the pivot column. So we have to make it 0. To make it 0, the relation is this: row 2 of table number 4 plus half of the row 1 of table number 5 will give the row 2 of table number 5. So this is the row 2 of table number 4. So this is the half of the row 1 of the table number 5 minus it. So we'll get this value, put it here, we get 0, 1, 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 0, 8. Well, so the table number 5 is complete. Let us take the table number 5 in the next slide. See, in table number 5 there is no positive except 1 and constant 8. All are negative. That is why we are confirmed that we have got the final solution. So it is the final table which give us which will give us the value of the objective functions. So well, let us take this identity matrix, where The first row is of C, so that is why C. The second row is of S2, so it is S2, and third row is of X1, so that is why it is X1, and they are all equal to the constant vector which is 8, 12 and 8. Okay, so therefore the final solution is C is equal to 8, C is equal to 8, X1 is equal to 8, there is no X2, so that is why X2 is equal to 0, there is no S1, so that is why S1 is equal to 0, here is S2, so S2 is equal to 12. So this is the final solution of this minimization linear programming problem, and this is the procedure. So you go through it and definitely you will be able to get you will be able to solve a linear programming problem through this techniques of simplex method. This is the list of suggested readings. You may go through these books for your more clearance. So finally, thank you.